te viene bien. Tómate la dosis que te viene bien.
Tu vida puede cambiar por la negligencia de otro.
Después de una terrible agresión por asalto, a mi esposo le fue imposible continuar trabajando. Gracias a la compensación que el abogado Tony del Campo nos ayudó a conseguir, pudimos pagar todas las cuentas.
En nuestra oficina ayudamos a víctimas de lesiones personales y a sus familias, luchando siempre por la mejor compensación posible. Cuando las cuentas médicas son altas, usted cuenta con los abogados del Campo Grayson López.
Ahorita en este momento estoy aquí coordinando lo que es la parte, todo lo que es el diseño. ¿Cómo están?
Todo bien, ¿cómo estamos?
Yo estoy aquí sobreviviendo esta cruda realidad del día de ayer. Como sabrán muchos, ya tenemos los contendientes del Super Bowl.
Sí.
Va a estar excelente. Yo me imagino que ustedes están felices porque, bueno, se pueden presentar. Estoy con...
Claro que sí. Art Machuca, vocalista de Arts and the Resistance.
And...
John Calancini, keyboardist, songwriter for Art and the Resistance.
Okay, for now, Art, you are a Rams fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice, finally. Oh my God, you know what? Yo odio a los, estaba tratando de ver una gráfica aquí, ya la tengo. Odio a los whiners, a los 40 whiners. I just want them to lose. That's it. But I like the Rams, and I like their, and I'm so glad they came back to LA. Are you guys all of you guys are from California?
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And you?
I live a little bit further north in a city called Bakersfield.
Okay, yes, that's where the band starts, right? In Bakersfield? Yeah. So, okay, tell me something. What does that mean, Art and the Resistance? Why that name? What's behind the name? Yet you got already Erika here saying
Hola,
hi.
Erika. Bueno, el Art and the Resistance for us, because para nosotros la música es un arte, ¿verdad? Y como yo creciendo de morrillo, yo escuchando corridos, cumbias, rock en inglés, rock en español, metal, y queríamos hacer una combinación donde podemos combinar todos los sonidos en uno y crear una resistencia, ¿verdad? Con el arte.
¿Por qué resistencia? Oh, okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Your name is Art, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. You know, I always thought it was art is that like a art, you know.
Yeah, but it is.
It is. Okay,
it's
great.
Art and it's art.
Great, that's good. Yeah, I like it. I like that. So,
yeah.
But we're gonna go over this a lot during the interview because it's something that really makes me, it creates some noise in my head right now and all this time. My whole life, I believe music is power and is not. I didn't say it. Someone else say it, but I agree, and probably I said it too. Music is power, and art is power too, in some way, in some form. We need more art, but for some reason it's been in the society and the budgets of our cities and states and country. Art is the list that you need to worry about. And I want to go through that. I mean, on that specific kind of terms. But anyway, let's talk about the bio of the band and the bio of the members. Can someone? Would you be helpful? Would you help me with that? In English,
sure.
If you want to say it.
Sure. So, as far as the bio of the band goes, I mean, we have a pretty, I guess, humble beginning. We played our very first show here in Bakersfield. We were doing it for a veterans fundraiser, and it was actually kind of a cool very first show because we played with the band Edema, if you're familiar with them. They're one of
No, I don't.
Bakersfield's legend bands. They're kind of like they're a new metal band on the same kind of trajectory as Korn, but they were on the same list as us. So we opened for Edema for our first show. Man, we got along great. We had a really good time. I mean, beyond just the music, each of us.
What was the
got
idea? What
along
was the
really-
idea? I'm sorry to interrupt, but what was the idea that make you got together, practice, and then how do you guys come up with getting together and play? I mean, you got invited there, but how?
Sure,
that
it started off with Art supposed to having been doing a solo set, just Art on a guitar, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'm not doing that, but I will play with the band." And so we put together a band, and a mutual friend of ours who I had played with in a different band prior to that reached out to me to play keys for this show. And actually, fun fact, I had sworn off of playing with bands up to this point. I'd played with a lot of bands prior to that, and I got kind of tired of it. I had bad experiences. And so I took a risk here. I listened to some of the songs, exactly, no more of that. But I'm glad I gave the songs a listen because I heard Art's voice, I heard how the songs were being written, and there was something there that just really clicked with me. And so we got together for a few rehearsals. And when I say that it's more important that you get along with your band members than it is that you do your preferred genre of
100%.
music, I can't be more serious. I got along great with everyone, and therefore the music happened more naturally because there wasn't any real tension. So we kept it going after that show, and we've done some really cool things since then, and it's all because of the bond that we all formed.
Yes, the chemistry, right? And we'll go over that a little bit more. Art, would you repeat what he said just briefly about in Spanish, if you can help me with this? I mean, I understood, but
Claro que sí. La banda empezó de un evento para los veteranos, para juntar dinero para ayudar con la banda Adima. Y a mí me invitaron a tocar un set solo, yo nomás la voz y la guitarra, pero yo quería hacer algo diferente. Conocí la banda se juntó y se construyó en un mes. Sí, ellos no escucharon las canciones, nada, pero nos llevamos tan bien y todos tocamos juntos como en una forma especial.
Exacto.
Y así como se formó la banda. Vaya lo que puso la resistencia.
sí, sabes que de hecho o sea, siempre pregunto eso, ¿verdad? ¿Qué tan importante es que la banda se lleve bien? ¿Qué tan importante que la banda sean amigos? ¿Qué tan importante es que haya una buena relación entre todos?
Yeah.
Y todo el mundo concuerda con que es súper importante. Pero también es importante las canciones, ¿no? Porque, what makes a band? That's another question that I ask people. So, what do you think it makes a good band? And what do you think is more important? The chemistry of the band, the looks of the band, together, or the songs?
Los tres.
Todo, right? Todo es...
Número uno, si te llevas bien con tus compadres y con tus músicos, todo va a salir bien. Si te miras bien, todos te van a mirar y van a querer verte tocar. Y tres, si tienes unas canciones que pegan, siempre vas a tener éxito, ¿verdad?
Exacto. Todo va como de la mano, ¿verdad? O sea, es bueno tener todos los ingredientes, aunque a veces uno puede hacer mejor que el otro. Y no hay problema, digo, pero que tenga los ingredientes. Dentro de la música que tienes, pues tienes música en inglés y música en español. A mí también me gusta componer así, a mí también con mi banda y todo, o sea, siempre combinar dependiendo de dónde se siente. Pero ¿tú crees que el rock se escucha bien en español, Art?
Claro que sí. Yo crecí escuchando Héroes del Silencio, Jaguares, Maná, Enanitos Verdes, ¿verdad? Rata Blanca, rock en español, ¿verdad? Y creciendo en California, también se escucha Metallica, Iron Maiden, Audioslave, Rage Against the Machine, ¿verdad? Y yo digo que la música si tiene el sentimiento y tiene el mensaje y la energía que quieres transmitir al mundo, todo va a salir como está planeado, ¿verdad?
¿Tienes algún ¿cómo se dice? Herencia hispana O
Sí, soy mexicano.
soy-
Mi papá es nacido en Mexicali, mi madre es de Tijuana, mis abuelos son de Guadalajara y Guanajuato. Y yo soy la primera generación americana de todos mis primos y mis tías y
muy
mis
bien, muy
hermanos.
bien. O sea, básicamente, y sabes que ese era el caminito, ¿no? Toda la gente
Sí,
del Bajío, de Guadalajara y todo, se iban así, ¿verdad? Así, 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 y van a ir
sí,
a California. Y yo siempre, yo siempre he respetado mucho a California por ser un estado, como dicen por ahí, el estado que nunca olvidó que es México, o algo así
sí,
dicen, ¿no?
sí,
Siempre son muy hay una cultura bien, bien fuerte, y tú lo demuestras, ¿no? Con la música. La canción esta de Celosa tienen a
sí.
un muy buen, él ha estado aquí, el vampiro.
Wow.
Él aquí ha estado en este estudio, aquí estuvo una vez con Jerónimo, Héctor Jerónimo.
Ok.
Estuvieron aquí, los entrevisté. Y bueno, el detalle es que un tipazo, el vampiro y César, ¿verdad? César López.
César
Platícame un
López.
poquito cómo fue la idea de, if you want to say it in English, I mean, you're welcome. But did you get what I said? Oh, well, Art, go right ahead and tell me how that happened, I mean, ¿cómo pasó eso de César López?
Bueno, una de nuestras amigas y
I'm
una
sorry.
representante de nosotros, Erika, un saludo, un beso para Erika. Este,
Erika, súper
She's been
chida.
great.
Es
no,
súper chida, Erika,
eh,
me cae
Yeah,
súper
big
bien.
time.
Sí, sí, sí.
nos conectó y de conectarnos estábamos hablando, la canción Celosa fue escrito creo que antes de la pandemia, pero no estaba como escrita en acústica y a ideas, ¿verdad? Pues nos dijo, hey, conozco al vampiro, los puedo presentar, le mandamos la canción y le gustó y lo quiero trabajar con ustedes. Lo que hicimos, dijimos, ¿sabes qué? Entonces vamos a ir al estudio. Contratamos a músicos, tenemos a conga player, un timbalero y alguien que se la gira y también los coros. Y fue una magia. Y cuando nos llegamos y sentamos en el estudio con Vampiro, la canción cambió, pero para lo bueno, ¿verdad? Y es lo que escuchas ahora con Celosa.
Sí, como que pues tiene así como un toque bien latinón,
Ujú.
¿verdad? Obviamente, bien, pues los requintos y todo, que está con madre la canción, ya
Gracias.
la acabamos de escuchar, lamentablemente no la podemos poner en Facebook ni en redes sociales, en este video, pero está programada, junto
Ujú,
con otras canciones, está programada aquí en lo que es el streaming, 24
ujú,
horas al día, 7 días a la semana.
ujú.
¿Por qué sacaste esta canción de Chris Isaac? Why did you guys came up with this cover, the Chris Isaac cover, the Wicked Games, right?
Wicked Games. That's all you, John.
Wicked Games, yeah.
Why did we start playing that song? I remember we were at our drummer's house. We were at Jeremy's house, and
Mhm.
Art just started playing it on guitar. And fun fact, I hadn't actually heard the song prior to that. That was my first
N-
time. I was like, "Oh, that's a neat song. What is this? Is this something you wrote?" And everyone kind of
Really?
laughed. They're like, "Yeah, I know." Somehow, I don't think I live under a rock, but that day I lived under a rock somehow.
It's true.
And
It's true. It happens to
yeah,
me. Don't feel bad. It happens to me. There's songs that people say, "You never heard this song?" No.
yeah,
I mean, and I've been in radio, but things happen, man. Don't worry.
yeah.
Keep going.
Everyone knows some things, and everyone doesn't know some things. That just happened to be one of those things I didn't know. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write something to this song, and I'm not going to listen to the song until I've written my part. And so we started jamming out the tune. We started playing, and just it evolved into this more, soft touched version of Chris Isaac's original. And it took shape in two phases. It kind of took shape immediately, but then gradual changes over time were introduced to it until you get the recording that you hear today.
Yeah, it's eh, I I wanted to check the music yesterday. I was going for a ride on my bike, and I always like to listen the bands I'm gonna listen that I'm gonna interview during the week or something. And when I saw that, I didn't see that before. I didn't read about it or anything. And I saw it there on the platform, Apple Music. It was first, I think it's the first one. So Wicked Games? Oh my God, that's good. Because I knew the song, by the way. I grew up, with that kind of music, the 80s and all that. And I really like, in the beginning, I was like, what? It looked like like on drugs, right? And then, but then I really like it. I think and I think it makes in my opinion, I don't know what's your opinion. You guys, but I believe it helps bands to every now and then to get a cover and just
Absolutely.
show something, right? Like just to, like Marilyn Manson, just for
Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams and all these, the KKK from Ramones, and it kind of it feels so good to hear it from. I think you kind of get to know the band better, I don't know. What's your take, Artur?
No,
Art.
I agree. The song is number one, is a very beautiful song. Es una canción hermosa y la queríamos recomponer a nuestro estilo. Pero a mí lo que me hizo que me enamorara de esa canción es cuando lo dice John. Empieza a tocar en el piano.
Hey.
Todo bien calmado, pero es como un sonido del piano kind of spooky, in a sense.
Sí,
No,
como
like
que
a-
están
like-
so weird,
Yeah. Juanito.
no quiero que se escuche muy bien porque luego me meto en broncas.
No entiendo.
Entonces, tararán, y luego,
Yeah.
I mean, everything. I think, another cover that I like, just to mention bands, when, what's his name? The guy, the oldie, the I forgot. Dun, 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 Hurt, with
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash covered the Hurt
Hurt
from
myself.
yes, no mames, o sea, algo increíble eso.
Yeah.
Y te hace sentir porque ay, o sea, hay comentarios de cómo Nine Inch Nails. There's some comments of how how Nine Inch Nails said that, well, he made it famous, right? Like giving credit to Johnny Cash. And by the way, do you have any more plans? Any more in your plans? Do you have any more songs probably coming, covers?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Estamos trabajando. No voy a decir mucho,
Ay,
ya,
hombre,
pero.
manches. Come on,
Pero
dude.
tenemos planeado una serie de videos de donde van a ser originales en video en vivo. El grupo va a estar tocando en vivo y va a ser todo grabado en multicámara. Y ahí va a ser grabado unos covers rewritten, escritos a nuestro estilo. Sí les voy a decir una canción que vamos a hacer en español, un cover.
A ver.
John, should we tell them the song in Spanish that we're going to cover?
Just one. Just one. Come on, John.
I think we can give him a hint and see if he can guess it.
Yeah. Why don't you see?
Oh, no.
wonder-
So thank you. You're gonna put me on a test. All right. Thank you,
Well,
sir.
do you happen to have any Wolfmen where you live, or have you ever been to Paris and have you seen any
Yes, muy buena.
Yeah.
Buena. Te puedo decir que me encanta esa rola.
Sí,
Hombre,
La Unión.
la de Hombre Lobo en París, ¿no?
Sí.
Es-
Tenemos una versión que está
Con madre.
está
Es
con
que,
madre.
mira, ayuda a todo mundo. A todo el mundo. Yo no estoy muy contento en la vida con las bandas tributo, ¿ok? No estoy contento para nada, o sea, pero pues ni modo, o sea, es lo que la gente quiere y mucha gente dice, sí, es un error que nosotros queramos eso y que apoyemos más a los tributos que a las bandas originales. Por eso de repente considero que es bueno que de repente saquen un poco de, pues, un cover o demás. Felicidades.
Gracias.
Felicidades, muy bien. ¿Cuánto va a durar este conciertito en vivo?
So,
multicámara.
lo que vamos a hacer, el plan, estamos esperando que el estudio de grabación we're building a studio and we're waiting for the keys to come in, and once we build the studio, we're going to have the cameras and angles. Pero creo que van a ser 3 videos por semana que vamos a sacar, pero todos grabados en vivo, todos grabados.
El mismo
y
día.
El mismo día, sí,
Sí.
pero vamos a estar sacando como 2 o 3 videos a la semana cuando empezamos a lanzar el proyecto. Y van a ver todo en vivo, nada va a ser edited, nada va a estar como cortado así, todo va a ser raw con el audio y el video también. Y lo vamos a mandarlo a un editor y lo va a organizar, lo van a poner en video y lo vamos a poner en nuestro YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Vas a
Y,
tener gente, van a tener gente.
Sí,
But
vamos a tener
is it-
gente.
But there's gonna be crowd.
Yeah.
Esa es una idea muy padre, fíjate, y lo hemos estado también, te lo comparto yo, para que no vayas a pensar que estoy echando, me voy a copiar lo que sea, pero he descubierto, porque hemos estado ahorita grabando con mi banda, y que digo, oye, si hacemos uno en vivo y cobras a fans por venir, obviamente con eso pagas una grabación. ¿No? Y eso, ¿ustedes van a cobrar para la grabación o es gratis?
Va a ser para invitados especiales.
Ándale.
So, si usted le gusta venir, si quieren venir, les damos un pass para que vengan y nos vean en vivo.
Me encantaría, pero sobremanera. Eso va a ser en Los Ángeles.
Sí, no, eso va a ser en Bakersfield.
Bakersfield,
California.
perdón, bueno, California. ¿Qué hay en Bakersfield? I mean, platícame un poquito, what's there in Bakersfield? I mean, I know there's a lot of history behind in that town,
I mean,
right?
You got Korn, which is one of the biggest metal bands in the world. You have Merle Haggard and Buck Owens, who are the founders of Outlaw Country. We also produce 35% of the fruits and vegetables for the globe.
Which is important, right?
Very important food.
You can't
And we
rock if you're
also
not
have,
eating.
we also have the most oil, and it's all known as a music town, you know.
Yeah,
Bakersfield
great.
es conocido como una ciudad de música, de comida, petróleo y rock and roll.
Súper, súper, súper chingón. ¿Qué es lo que más te importa en las letras? Por ejemplo, cuando compones una canción, o la verdad, ¿tienen algún punto como basado a lo mejor un poco en lo del arte y la resistencia? ¿Tienen algún punto, alguna canción que tenga algo que ver con eso?
Para nosotros, cuando escribimos música, queremos contar historias, ¿entiendes? Decir historias. Por ejemplo, Johnny Cash es un gran ejemplo. Cuando Johnny Cash escribió una canción, él contaba una historia con la letra, ¿verdad? Y la gente escucha la canción y dice, ok. Pero no todas las cosas que escribimos nos pasan a nosotros. Nosotros observamos lo que pasa en el mundo, ¿verdad? Como tenemos una canción que se llama Letters, letras, la pueden encontrar en Facebook, Instagram. Tenemos un video también en YouTube. Y yo cuando tenía 19 años, yo trabajaba en una mortuary, en una funeraria, y estaba un señor mayor que estaba enterrando a su esposa de años. Y él escribió una última letra al amor de su vida, y estaba leyendo la letra mientras que ella estaba, pues ya estaba a punto para enterrarla. Y eso me inspiró a mí para escribir la canción Letters.
Cuando dices una última carta, quisiste
Sí.
decir, una última carta.
La última
Una
carta.
se la hizo a su esposo. Oye, qué momento, qué
Yeah.
buena inspiración.
Me inspiró a mí.
Sí, exactamente. De hecho, ahí ahorita puse ahí, ¿verdad? Un poco de lo que dice el grupo. Se especializa en cuentos dramáticos de viajes personales con canciones como The Desert Not Coming Back y Seasons de su álbum debut del 2018, que entonces, inician en el 2018. Dime algo. Ustedes empezaron con un álbum que se llama, tiene un nombre. Porque usualmente el primer álbum, usually the first album, some bands, they don't put a name, right? And then, so the first album is From the Shadows. That's the name, right? Of the first album. So do you want to talk about any of those 3 songs and why From the Shadows? Why that? If you want, you help me, John, with that.
Sure. So, okay, the desert, Bakersfield, which is where we were started, it's not the desert exactly, but we're close enough to the desert that I mean we're basically in the desert. And I mean, I want you to tell your story, but part of what the desert is for me, part of the meaning of this song that goes into this is very much about finding yourself despite the best efforts of the snakes and the bad people of the world, and then growing to your full potential, being the dragon in the sky, and having a wise person kind of show you the way, the shaman.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did not write the lyrics for this song. That was all Art, so he has a more in-depth story to tell.
I like
that.
when the song starts and it says, "Somewhere in the desert, there's a snake like you," or something like that. I say, "Oh my God!" It really hit me when I heard that little phrase. Yeah, Art. Thank you though. But this is very important. You're in California, right? Es en el centro, ¿verdad? De California.
Bakersfield está en el centro de California. Central
Ok,
Valley.
y colinda a un lado con Arizona, ¿o qué es? ¿Nuevo México? ¿O el desierto? ¿O Nevada?
5 hours. 5 hours
No.
from Arizona.
Okay, so
Pero,
you're not that far from the desert.
No, well, the desert is Mojave. Mojave is 30 minutes from Bakersfield.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead and si quieres hablar de la canción de Desert.
Yeah, so, para mí cuando estaba componiendo el desert, estaba yo en una transmisión en mi vida donde no estaba feliz, no estaba contento con mi vida y tuve una experiencia que me inspiró y me fui yo al desierto por 2 semanas. Me fui al desierto 2 semanas. Y,
¿Solo?
No, con unos amigos, pero fui a una fiesta en el desierto. Voy a hacer la fiesta de 2 días y me terminé 2 semanas. Cuando allá no había servicio ni nada y cuando llegué a mi casa, prendí mi teléfono, lo cargué. Había en el Facebook, andamos buscando a Arturo, se ha perdido, ¿dónde está Art?
Oh my
Porque-
God, qué bruto. Oye, no, hombre, que estás muy mal en eso. Qué bárbaro.
Él lo hizo los Doors, ¿verdad?
No, pero no te la apañas. ¿Sabes que entonces te fuiste al desierto y compusiste la canción ahí?
Componí la letra. Pero la cosa chistosa de eso es que antes que yo fui al desierto, yo estaba de promotor, yo estaba corriendo un venue, no estaba haciendo la música.
Okay.
Cuando regresé del desierto, dejé mi trabajo de promotor y empecé la música. ¿Verdad? Y eso fue lo que me inspiró.
Espero que no me meten problemas. Pero oye. Quiero
Tenemos
ir.
el permiso.
I know, but then the problem is that the Facebook, and they always bother me with that. I mean, people give me the permission, but they don't. So and then
Facebook, we give him the permission to play our music.
I know.
Hello,
Look.
Mark.
The intro is so long. I want people to listen to your. Somewhere in the desert, there's a snake like you. That's pretty cool, man. I love
Thank
that
you.
song. I mean, your music, guys, is pretty cool. I love it. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And I've been so lucky to have very good bands and rock radio and more lately. All the time. I was gonna say, how many members do we have in the band?
Somos 4.
4.
4, exacto. Y me los dicen los nombres y el instrumento.
So, yo soy Art Machuca, vocalista y guitarrista y armónica.
Okay.
Johnny toca el teclado, hace segunda voz y también hace el acordeón.
Ándale.
Tenemos al baterista, drummer Jeremy Bridgman, que hace la baterista y hace también tercera voz. y a mi hermano, Gilberto Machuca, que es el bajista y la segunda voz principal.
A ver, dime, ¿qué tan importante es que todos canten? Por ejemplo, o- ya ves los Beatles, ¿no? Los Beatles siempre, oías voces de todas partes y le dan como algo bien bonito, ¿no? A la música. ¿Qué tan importante se te hace que, how important o qué tan importante se te hace que todos participen en el canto, en la
For
parte
me,
cantada? Ujú.
For me, the voice is the way you transmit the energy from the soul into music.
Ya.
So if everybody has something to offer within their soul, like John has a certain type of sound that I don't have, my brother has a certain sound that I don't have or he doesn't have. Pero cuando nos combinamos los cuatro, es cuando empieza la magia. ¿Verdad?
¿Verdad? Sí,
Es la
sí.
conexión entre todos y las voces y las melodías, ¿verdad? Pero no nomás de cantar las melodías todo el tiempo, es cantar las melodías en el tiempo correcto,
Exacto.
¿verdad?
Sa- A ver, nosotros nos pasó, y discúlpame que meta también mis experiencias musicales, pero
No, no, está
no,
bien.
esta es tu entrevista, pero me
Sí.
gusta platicar también como músico y como, pues que he estado ahí, ¿verdad? Entonces, o estoy ahí, y se siente bien loco, porque a nosotros nos pasó que después de... John, did you get what I said in Spanish? Do you understand?
Yo entiendo un poco, pero yo no hablo mucho, so I
Okay.
mostly just speak in Spanish or in English. Yeah.
Well,
Pero,
what I was saying is que it's that in my band that we've been playing for 40 years, but we broke up for a long time, and then we're back and we're recording now and blah blah blah. We never did much of a chorus all together, but we did some. But this is the first time when we all participated, and it feels so. I mean, there's something magical when everybody sings at the same. With the band, when the band brings the whole voice, everybody's voice is there, and I'm glad that. Thank you for your opinion about that art, but
yeah.
and right now, so you have one album, right?
We
Fully
have
album.
one full album, and then we have 3 singles, right, that were released: Serenity, Gusano, The Funk, and now Celosa, Cuatro.
Good.
And we already have the next album written. We are in the process of getting it recorded. And yeah, we're so
Are you?
excited for that.
Well, I want to know first if have you tour, because basically most of the time that you guys been in existence is been the pandemic around, right? It's
Yeah.
been bad for you, but have you been in different places? What places? What are your favorite places? And also, what do you think about this new era of singles? Singles. What do you think about that? If you guys want to share in Spanish and English, probably you are if you start in Spanish.
So, nosotros hicimos una gira en California. Fuimos una gira de 2 semanas, it was like a 2-week tour. Fuimos a diferentes lugares en California y dijimos, ok, estamos bien, para el siguiente año vamos a ir a una gira nacional, y luego empezó la pandemia, ¿verdad? Pero el plan ya está ahí, estamos trabajando de que hacer la gira y esperar que todo se quede abierto, ¿verdad? Por la pandemia, los shows se siguen cancelando, pero la meta es de ojalá pronto y ojalá soon podamos ir a ir a las diferentes ciudades donde están ustedes, y en México, en todos los Estados Unidos, Latinoamérica, y ir a tocar música y conocerlos a todos, ¿verdad?
¿A ti te gustaría, si hubiese, no digas, o sea, tú siéntete libre de decir
Ok.
el país que tú quieras? ¿Qué país te gustaría tocar y por qué? Que no fuera
México.
Estados Unidos.
México.
México. Sí, porque eres de México.
No, pues el número uno, el tequila, el mole
Eh,
y la raza, ¿verdad?
sí, la raza.
La raza, cuando tocamos canciones en español, donde sea, en California, o lo que pasa, la raza se pone y se prende, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Es
es
algo
que suenan.
especial, es algo especial que la raza tiene, que es puro corazón.
A ti te, a ti te, algún día tocaste norteño o algo así, porque pues es como hay canciones que son como norteñas, ¿no? Norteñas con ska, no sé qué. Están con
El gusano.
madre. El gusano, exactamente. ¿Tú tocaste alguna vez norteño o
Yo crecí escuchando Ramón Ayala desde morrillo. You know?
Yes, chaparra de mi amor.
Yeah.
Eso.
Tragos de amargo licor. Yeah.
Eso, a huevo.
Eh.
Hay un meme, there is a meme of Ramón Ayala with his face, right? Así, Ramón Ayala with his face, and he says, yeah, you're rock and roll and heavy metal and all that shit, but when you get drunk, you listen to my music, motherfucker. I love that one, man. That's awesome. I think hay mucho que platicar sobre lo que es el estilo. Algún día si hago un programa especial con diferentes artistas, te voy a invitar porque me gustaría, ¿sabes qué? Platicar de esa cultura que hay entre el norte de México, la música norteña y Texas, ¿verdad? Todo lo que es el tejano, bien parecido, ¿verdad? Tienen sus cosas, por lo que tengo entendido, el acordeón en el tejano nunca para, ¿verdad? Cuando está cantando sigue el acordeón, ¿cierto? Y en el norteño sí para cada vez que el vocalista entra, como el blues. ¿Sí o no?
Sí, yo digo que depende de la canción.
Okay.
John es el que toca el teclado. Y digo, el acordeón.
El acordeón.
John actually plays the accordion very good. And he plays Mexican music all the time.
Do you know what I said? Do you understand what I said? I said that someone in a band, back in the days, I don't know which band, probably Los Tigres del Norte, whatever. I used to work with the promoters there, so I met all of them. So I remember one day I asked one of them. I said, "Hey, what's the difference between the Tejano music and the norteño?" Right? And there's something that I feel that is there, that it sounds different. He said, the accordion. Accordion is always stops in norteña music, the Mexican style, stops when the singer sings. I'm sorry. And then in the Tejano, the accordion always on. Is that true?
A lot of the time, not always. So like if you listen to Ramon Ayala, for example, like El Rinconcito del Cielo, that song, he's still playing a little bit while he's singing, while the singing is going on, and it's not as active, but the very busy, kind of whatever you want to call them, the rock star lines that he plays, those only come in between his sections. So there is some truth to that, but it's not black and white.
Okay, right. I was gonna say, do you like? Be honest. Do you like playing the Mexican music for?
Oh hell yeah! It's so much fun. Yeah, I love cumbia. Gusano is based on cumbia. I love cumbia, and
is it based in cumbia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually the original melody da 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 da. I originally started playing on accordion, and on the left hand I was going bum 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 bum. The classic cumbia kind of bass line with the left hand, and eventually it became a synthesizer instead of an accordion. No, I mean merengue, cumbia, salsa, all sorts of different, Latin styles. I love playing them, and
nice.
For years, I was in a Latin band, and I was playing this music every weekend, todos los fines de semana. But I had to quit because it was, I was missing too many birthdays and weddings and things like that. I couldn't keep giving up all my weekends.
Yeah, and then and I don't know if tell me, but they usually go a little bit later. I mean, how do you say? Overnight. I mean, with Latinos, right? It's like I was playing one time in a restaurant here. We end up at 3:30 or 4 a.m. They no. It's like it's so hard to. We don't understand when the end. We don't Latinos. We don't understand there's an end.
My girlfriend would ask me, "What time are you going to be home?" And I could never give her a good answer. It's like, whenever they stop paying us, we're gonna go home. But they'll like a lot of shows that say, "Hey, can you play another hour?" We're out of songs. I don't care. Play some of the songs you already played. Okay, can you play another hour? I'd roll home about 5 or 6 in the morning sometimes. And
I just got tired of that thing too.
Es por eso quiero yo ir a México a tocar, porque a mí me gusta el party.
Sí, no, ya, pero la verdad que sí, ya después de un rato como que sí te pesa. John, do you think, are you happy with the new era of singles, because the new way of promoting and, the new platform, a new way to promote our bands?
I am... it's a new era. It's a new art form. You have to condense information into a short amount of time now. And so the question and the challenge becomes, how can you be as creative in 3 minutes as you would be in a full-length album? I don't think you can be, but how can you start to approach that? How can you tell the story in one song that you might have in the previous era where you had a whole album to do it? I do miss the era where people would sit down and give their full attention to an album and hear your story, song after song after song. But I think that there is an art form to doing that with single after single. You just have to trick people into, piecing it together. And I'm still figuring that out, but I believe it can be done.
I don't know if you guys, no sé si a ustedes les gusta NPR y todos estos shows un poquito más intelectuales. Yo recuerdo un programa una vez cuando apenas empezaba iTunes, back in the days, where it was about downloading for 99 cents, remember? So then I heard this show and I just crank it up because I said, I'm very interested about what they're talking about. And they were talking about, music is very hard to package in order to favor now the artists. Musicians are always in the downside. I mean, always, because big companies will exploit them, right? And for some reason, we always lose. If you allow me to say that just short. And the nice thing about creating an album, it was like practically to make a big piece of art, right? It's just the graphics, the music, everything. So they were worried about how this will impact at the end of the day the music as an art form. So, but I don't see that. I mean, I see that it's helping the bands. Tell me, what do you think about this? Is helping the bands, not only bands with low, I mean, with how do you say? Not that I forgot the word. I'm still hangover. I had the hangover.
Dilo en español. ¿Cuál es la palabra?
De bajos recursos. With not much money anyway. With resources.
Low budgets.
Exactly. And to put out something. Hey, I have money just to make one song. That's it. And then instead of having one piece of art, you have 10 pieces of art because every song will have some design or some story. So what do you think? Do you think I have a point or no?
Yeah, I think you absolutely have a point. For me personally, para mí personal, yo recuerdo cuando estaba morrillo y cuando miraba el CD, me gustaba abrir el CD, el paquete, sacar la libreta y leer las canciones y mirar las fotos de las bandas allá adentro.
Sí.
Las artes, eso es lo físico para mí. Pero ahora vivimos una era digital, ¿verdad? Donde la gente es más visual en lo que es video. Lo que nosotros tratamos de hacer con nuestros singles, los sencillos, es de sacar lo que sería un lyric video, un video con letras, y luego
Sí,
organizar un video de musical, ¿verdad? Con
con la
nosotros
banda.
tocando, con la banda y todo. Pero eso también requiere, disculpa, eso también requiere un budget más grande, ¿verdad? Pero
Exacto. Pero ahorita tenemos los recursos, o sea, tenemos podemos, es más fácil, ¿verdad? Es más fácil, pero a la vez más difícil. ¿Qué es lo a ti te gusta más? John, do you like this new era in some way?
Yeah, I think that this new era does give a lot more people an opportunity to be heard. I think that's cool. So music has been democratized. Anybody, I don't necessarily like that part, but anybody can put their music out there and anybody can hear that music. So it's not as limited as it used to be what kind of music does get access. And it's really interesting seeing the birth of genres that are formed
Yes.
online. Some genres of music are now, the children of the internet. And I think that's
yeah,
really cool.
I think it's so cool too.
Yeah, and yes, like you guys. It's,
Hmm.
it's
Like
like
us.
when you listen to your band, um, you heard all these kind of genres and styles or whatever you want to call it. And that's another question I would like to know. I would like to know what first two things. What are your plans if you ever want to come to the East Coast? And also, what do you think about that? I mean, usually some bands they do not want to give they want to stay in the same style of music, so they don't want to betray their fans, because I have heard that, right? They want to be pure of whatever they did. But then on the other hand, you have bands like Queen, they never care about, like whatever Sunday afternoon, and that craziness. They always come up with something crazy. I'm gonna go for a quick commercial, if
Okay.
you allow me. I'm gonna welcome Aaron Ortiz, the Taylor Lee and Associates, and he might have some questions for you guys. And just give me 1 second. Esto es La Dosis. Volvemos.
Tómate la dosis que te viene bien. Tómate la dosis que te viene bien.
Como padre, hijo y hermano, sé lo importante que es la familia y el impacto que puede tener un caso de migración en ella. Por más de 15 años, miles de familias han confiado en nosotros. Cada caso no es un número más, sino una oportunidad de ayudarte. En Atlanta, Taylor Lee Asociados son los abogados para ti.
Llama hoy. La primera consulta siempre es gratis. Taylor Lee Asociados, los abogados para ti.
Muy bien, pues continuamos aquí en La Dosis. Creo que escogí el background equivocado. Se me fueron las cabras. A ver si este está mejor. Ese, muy bien, muy bien. Le damos la bienvenida a Aaron Ortiz. Aaron, ¿cómo empezó tu semana?
Ocupadísima, perdón que me conecté tarde, pero un gusto estar aquí. Guys from the Resistance, thank you very much to be here today and to allow me to connect, to talk with you guys. It's really a pleasure, but it's really an honor because I was reviewing your Facebook page and you have been rock and rolling over 25 years, something like that. Am I right?
I've been rock and rolling since I was born.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Besides in my mom. Yeah.
You start to
Cuando-
rock and
cuando
roll
estaba-
literally.
Cuando estaba cuando estaba en la panza de mi madre, estaba así yo.
Okay.
Puro rock and roll desde que nací.
No hace sentido. ¿Y qué tan difícil ha sido? You're a mix of sounds band. How difficult is to try to keep fresh your sound after all these years?
I honestly think it comes natural to us. Like you were saying earlier, Queen is one of our favorite bands,
Mhm.
and you have like an artist that you have like we will rock you, right? And then you have like other songs that are like more slow and melody, and some songs
Love
are
of
more
my
dramatic.
life. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Para nosotros, creciendo, como dije hace temprano, desde morrillos, escuchando norteñas, cumbias, rock en español, rock en inglés, metal, hip hop, techno, de todo, ¿verdad? Empiezas a conocer y te empiezas a enamorar de todo tipo de música, ¿verdad? Porque toda la música, no importa qué tipo de música es, la música es el mismo lenguaje, que es el lenguaje del amor, ¿verdad? Que todos hablamos y todos nos comunicamos, ¿verdad? Si tú juntaras a 50 personas de diferentes partes del mundo, pero saben leer música, y tú escribes un pedazo de música, todos te van a tocar el pedazo igual. ¿Por qué? Porque si somos músicos, entendemos ese lenguaje, ¿verdad?
¿Te gusta escribir? ¿Tú escribes y lees música?
Yo soy más de escritor,
Empírico.
como de sentimiento, ¿verdad? Me gusta a mí escribir más de letras y melodías. John es el profesor que él escribe música en actual music notations, and he's a songwriter, professional.
Wow. So, how important do you think? Well, there's so many other questions that just arise. ¿Qué tan importante para ti, para ustedes, es que un músico sepa leer o escribir música? How important is that, John? Or
How important is it to, let me make sure, to be able to write music, to be able to
write music, read music, and write. Write is harder for me. I can read a little bit of music, but it is so hard for me to write it. But I'm, you have to just pay attention and work hard.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have two answers to that question.
Please.
One is, I think that everybody should get a really good understanding of the basics of writing music, of reading music, of understanding
Yes.
the theory of music, because otherwise you're going to reinvent the wheel a lot. If you already know what's been done without having to figure it out for yourself, you save yourself a lot of time. And then you build on that. You build on the things that the great masters that came before you have already done. My second answer is, it's really not that important.
Yeah.
It's okay. There are some really, really, really talented musicians throughout history that had no understanding of how to read music, and yet they invented new genres. That said, you don't need it, but it helps you out a lot, and it's gonna be like having a race car taking you through music if you learn all that stuff versus a bicycle. You're going to go a lot faster, further, with a good understanding of those things.
And I believe one of the reasons that Britain always beats up United States, all these, how do you call, Aaron? Invasiones, la invasión británica y no sé qué.
Invasions.
British invasion.
British invasion.
Yeah, and I believe is because yo creo que esas invasiones es porque los ingleses siempre fueron más preparados en la música. They always get, it's, I mean, like you say, you don't need
More
it.
literate.
Yeah, they just pay more attention
But-
into the dogmatic part of it, right?
I was listening the comments from you guys, and John, I would like to see what do you think about it, because if you know how to read music, like your colleague said, you can put 50 people, different instruments, put the partiture, and they're gonna play. But probably they are moving forward the song, just moving forward. But what about the passion, the energy? If you put the energy and the passion in that song, probably you're gonna transform that song in something more beautiful than just playing like reading a book or something like that without passion. What about that? Because
Well, that's why
passion
you
is
have the
everything.
director. That's why you
Yeah.
want to have a director. The director is the one that put the passion into
No, but
that.
if you play, you need to put the passion. In my opinion, you
Oh,
need to
right.
put the passion in your own instrument.
Oh, yeah.
And people that can only read music off of a piece of paper, unfortunately, that's what happens a lot, is all they're doing is reading notes and rhythm. They become robots.
Yes.
And that
Good-
happens so
good point.
often. And so with my students, I'll start off, let's say a music lesson. I'll start off by having them listen to new music. Hey, man, check this out. Check this song out by the band Yes. Check out Roundabout. Listen to that bass line. I get them thinking about other instruments. How does the organ fit in with that? Okay, now let's learn the organ part for Roundabout. Now, so I get them inspired to hear the music of rock or metal or jazz greats. And then what I find when I started doing that, they play so much more soulfully that I can't go back to only teaching them notation because I don't want them to be really, how would you say it, dry musically.
I want. Can I say that? Are you happy with the answer, Aaron?
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
You know what, man? I'm extremely surprised how this thing of universe or whatever quantico, what I don't know. You know, I was thinking while you were giving the answer to him about the feeling and all that, how important it is to read, not to read. I was thinking of Jeff Berlin. Do you remember Jeff Berlin? Jeff Berlin is a bass player, jazz player. He's a lead player, bass player in the world. Jeff Berlin, right? He has played with Bill Bruford with many times, and I think he plays the bass with Bill Bruford and the Buford Tapes. Bill Bruford is the drummer of jazz. And what happened is I saw, Aaron, lo voy a decir primero en español porque es importante. I saw one day Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Hall in concert in Houston, Texas. I was right there, first in the line, in first one, right there, practically almost on the stage, right? And I'm watching Tommy Levin. Do you know Tommy Levin, the bass player? Tommy Levin, he's playing the bass for Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Hall because Chris Squire didn't play with jazz back in the day. That's why they couldn't call it jazz. That's why it was called Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Hall, right? But they were playing all the music from jazz. Anyway, I'm watching one of my best bass players play in front of me, and I keep saying, Tommy, and the guy was very thrilled that I was like, more happy to see him. And than the band. And then but I noticed something wrong with him, okay? It's in Houston, Texas, 1988, 1989, something. He's doing this all the time. He's hurt. Okay, then I bought I saw the concert. A friend of mine bought the concert DVD of Jazz, Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Hall. Right away. It was like 3 weeks after. Happened to be, it was not Tommy Levin playing. It was Jeff Berlin. You know why? They play in Houston, Texas. They took a break one day, and then they play in Dallas, Texas, okay? Couple days after. Tommy Levin was sick. I saw it. They call Jeff Berlin. They FedEx him the music. And if you watch that video, the guy is playing the music with the whole thing, with all the music down there. You can see the guy is standing and the music is on the floor. And the thing is, what he was trying, you know how I knew this? Because I spoke with Jeff Berlin myself. I mean, I went to one of his clinics, and he said, this is why it's so important that we read. I mean, I already knew the music. I know how to play it with the feeling, but I needed to have, they wouldn't call me if I don't read music. But anyway, so sorry. I was so weird.
But that happened, sorry for interrupt you, with
keep going.
The Rolling Stones, the current tour that they are performing, to the death of Charlie Watts. They have another drummer, and I went to the concert last year here in Atlanta, and the guy played in the same way that Charlie Watts. Charlie Watts, you may know that he was more jazz drummer, right. And the way that he handled the sticks were more like this, and played in this way, like a jazz style. Yeah. I was watching the guy. He's an African American. I don't remember his name, but he was doing great. Because before Charlie Watts died, he made an announcement that he's gonna skip the tour, and that guy will play with them. So probably he has been rehearsal with the rest of the band for months. But the way that he was playing was really, really, really good. You hardly noticed that it was not the Charlie Watts style. And probably it's part of the situation that if you can read music, it's more easy for you to understand and just to put a little bit of passion to get a great performance, in my
Sure.
opinion. I don't know what do you think about it.
Pregunta, what do you think about what he said? Do you want to comment? I want to ask just how important for you guys is to practice. I mean, how much you guys practice. But if you,
I practice every day if it's by myself. Like I have my guitars right here.
every day.
Yeah, whenever I get a chance. Like right now, as soon as we're done with the sting, I'm gonna pull out my guitar and I'm just gonna, play a little bit of guitar.
What do you do for practice? Tell me, just what is your tu dosis? ¿Cuál es tu dosis?
A mí me gusta primero pongo mi guitarra que uso acústica aquí donde vivo y cantar mis canciones, kind
Okay.
of like freshen up on my melodies. I like to look at some covers, and my favorite thing to do when it comes to a cover is play different and rearrange the song.
Okay.
Make it sound my own. Porque every artist is going to be unique no matter how you play or sing the song. The thing about a lot of bands, they always want to play the song as close as the original. Yo digo, para tener la magia, tienes que hacerlo lo tuyo, lo que viene de ti, con la pasión.
Exacto, sí. ¿Sabes? ¿Ya escuchaste, Aaron, la canción de ellos de Wicked Game? It's pretty cool. ¿Tienes algún comentario?
This is my point.
Puedes
Even
hablar,
if you read music, you can
puedes
put
hablar en español también.
something extra to create a great song, because the song is the song. Whoever get the notes play it, and that's it. But if you put your passion, because even for you guys that you wrote that song and you create all the melody and all the lyrics, you know what really means that song and why did the lyrics, what is the real lyrics meaning. Is like the police, every breath you take, that everybody thinks that it's a love song, and it's not a love song. Sting wrote it to denounce the comunistas and back in the Russians and how the dictatorships, governments sneaking through your privacy all the time. And how important is for you guys to feel.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. This is the Sting made an interview saying it is a mistake, and it's sad that everybody thinks that this is a love song. It's not a love song.
and they use it in weddings. They use it so much in weddings back in the days. It was like unbelievable.
He was thinking about that book, the 1884 from George Orwell, the Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
He was thinking about that, and North Korea, Russia, and other countries with a really, really dictatorships governments when he wrote that song.
I thought the song was about a stalker who's stalking
I
a
actually
girl.
thought
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, me too.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too. But then when he said that, it makes more sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But
It's like,
but it's
Mind
still it's still as a stalker. Still is weird.
Just the government. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Government's the
another.
stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but maybe that happened with your songs once in a while, that you create that song to put some, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, a song, when you made the lyrics, is a statement for your band. You need to make a point. But sometimes the public thinks in a different way and they take whatever they feel.
yeah,
Am I right?
yeah, that's true.
Basically,
Give me an example, if you don't mind. Sorry for interrupt you, but give me an example of some of your songs that you were trying to do this, that your public generate a lot of publicity about your song, but in a different way. John?
So this song hasn't come out yet, but it's a song that I call Revolution.
Okay.
And it's not the Beatles' Revolution. It's not that one. But
Okay.
I was showing it to the band. I was showing it to a couple of people, and every person would ask them, what do you think it's about? And essentially, the song is about what's the best way to describe it? When I wrote the song, it was about, to me, the devil encouraging you to go to war. I want you to go to war because that's what I love to see. Go to war, have a revolution, shed blood, But every person had a different understanding. One person thought it was about, the God of the Old Testament. Another person thought it was symbolic of a breakup. And it's just interesting. It's like I thought that it was so clear what I was writing. I thought it was so very clear, and then there were so many interpretations of it. And the song "Come Together" by the Beatles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Art and I were discussing this the other day. What is that song about? Is it about love? Is it about drugs? Is it about what?
Yeah, and that happened the same with Lucy in the Sky.
Yeah, everybody says
and everything else is when they were using LSD. And it was not true because back on those days, Julian drew a painting, and he went to John and said, "Look, this is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." And she was incredible high. And John from there took that idea to make Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And your favorite Pink Floyd, I Wish You Were Here, that song, Roger Waters made the lyrics thinking about to retake himself. When he wrote that song, he was out of his mind. He felt depressed. He was really feeling very, very depressed, very nasty, very blue. And eventually, when he was writing that song, it was a recreation for him to try to bring him back himself. And now everybody I miss my girl, I'm gonna listen, I Wish You Were Here.
Okay. Aaron, can I keep interviewing my band?
No, because you have them 1 hour, so it's like times. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No seas celoso. No seas celoso.
No, celosa. Es celosa. Oye, a ver, básicamente tenemos un plan, tenemos plan para venir a Atlanta, el East Coast, o...
Sí.
A ver, platícame.
Cuando nos invitamos, ya estamos ahí listos para ir.
Aarón va a poner la lana para hacer un concierto. Aarón,
vámonos.
Aarón.
¿Dónde la vamos a hacer?
Donde sea.
¿El
Sí.
tabernáculo?
Básicamente, ustedes tienen un management, ¿verdad? Ustedes tienen una persona que les maneja sus contratos, tienen su representante, o cómo los pueden contactar. ¿Quisieras dar esa información?
Sí, me pueden contactar a mí en el Facebook, y también nos pueden contactar a Erika Morales.
Sí, Erika Morales.
Erika Morales. Tenemos un equipo de producción de video. That's how we get our music videos together. Tenemos un equipo de estudio y grabación. Y
Ustedes graban tienen su propio estudio para grabar sus canciones.
Nosotros escribimos las canciones, pero trabajamos con un equipo que ellos tienen en el estudio. Y we always bring a producer, like Ivan Shopik, que vienen y nos hacen they come in and help us produce. Kind of when in the studio, ¿verdad? It just makes everything better.
Ese es un buen punto. Yeah. How important do you think it is to have a producer? From outside the band.
I see it like this. An outside perspective is either going to be constructive or destructive, right? And when it comes to when we get together as a band and we bring in a producer that we know that it's going to build us to be constructive, that's going to make us better, because that producer hears something that we don't, no ego. There's no ego here. It's us making the song that works for the song, not for the individual.
What makes you, John? What makes you comfortable? Let's say that Aaron, I'm gonna say, Aaron is gonna be your producer, and then we're gonna meet tomorrow. What do you want to hear from him? What is gonna be a red flag, and what is gonna be a I don't know, white flag? What is a gold flag?
So a big red flag is a control freak, someone who it has to be their way 100% of the time.
bueno.
I mean, we've dealt with that kind of a person before, and we
Bueno.
don't deal with that kind of a person anymore.
Outta
Whenever
here.
we encounter them, we just kind of, okay, goodbye. It's nice to meet you. Go away now. We don't put up with that.
We're looking
because
we're looking for a team player. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And
How
as far as a
about
white flag-
if it's someone like just to keep going with that, because I think you got a great point. How about if it's someone like Adrian Belew? You know Adrian Belew, that he produced Caifanes, El Silencio. He's a great musician, played with King Crimson. He's a producer. He comes, or George Martin, I don't know, someone like that. George Martin was not a producer, ¿verdad, Aaron?
Yeah, he was the producer of the
he was the
Beatles.
okay, yeah. He comes into place and he says it's gonna be my way, 100%. What would you say?
I guess, okay, in that situation, if they've earned the right to call the shots, and that's a very rare individual, then I guess you're the one that hired them. You're the one that chose to work with them. You did, and you made that choice because of what they've already done. Like George Martin, look what he did for the Beatles. And he wasn't just producing, he was sometimes an active musician for the Beatles. In My Life, he recorded that piano solo. He did a lot of the piano work. He did a lot of the instrumental arrangement. He knows his stuff. And so in that case, I would just say, okay, tell you what, have fun, add what you want to add. And if we hate it, you're fired. I don't want to fire you, but if it has to be your way, you better make us sound really, really good.
Yeah, I agree with John. Like, let's say Rick Rubin, or my beard brother. All right, let's say Rick Rubin que diga, hey, I'll produce you guys and we'll get you produced, but it's going to be my way. That man has a 100% track record of success.
How about if you don't like it? How about if you don't like it and you don't like it? I mean, today we're right there. This is the final day of the mixing, and you're already mad because you don't like it, but you have to. So he finished it, and it's already mixed, going to master. Okay, the song, and he said, "Well, guys, here you go. You let me go all the way. Do you want to release it, or do you just want to trash it right here?" So what would you do? Because you don't know if it's gonna be a hit. You might don't like it because it's so weird. Sometimes it works like that.
Yeah, I would release it.
If it
There's
sounded
wisdom.
if it sounded like absolute garbage, I am very grateful that I'm in a band with people who are. We keep each other in check. We reinforce one another,
Nice,
but we also
nice.
tell each other, hey, look, you're being a certain way right now. So I would actually talk to my band first. Look, I'd say, look, guys, I hate this. I really hate this. What do you guys think? And they'll be honest with me. They'll say, no, I really like this. And if, they like it, sometimes, if I expect somebody to not call 100% of the shots, I have to hold myself to that same idea. I can't call 100% of the shots either. So if everyone else in the band likes it, I'm just going to sit back and let the song happen.
Yes, sometimes that's the weird thing, because you don't know in that moment if that song, even though you don't like it, is gonna be a great thing for the band's history, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people get so personal about this, and it's a good answers. And I'm glad, because that shows that you guys are gonna be ready for success, because the problem is that little stupid problems really kill the bands.
Yeah.
Little shit like that. No, me. Then all ego and all that. I was gonna say, how important is consensus, because Aaron, probablemente a lo mejor quieres participar aquí, y a lo mejor podemos decirlo también en español para que las bandas lo entiendan. El consenso versus democracy. Put it this way: you can go 3-1. Who goes for this? We're gonna do George Martin way or not? 3-1, or the other option is consenso, where the band really trying to find The best options. ¿Quieren hablar de eso? ¿Les gustaría hablar de eso? Do you think it's important to talk about the difference?
Go ahead,
As
guys.
As far as, yeah, that's a hard one. It can't always come down to, okay, 3 outnumbers 1. It doesn't always work like that, because once in a while, that one person does have a really valid point.
Yes.
We've encountered that before, where the 3 of us saw something a similar way, but then one person in the band was like, no, think about it this way, really stop and think about it. And first, we were talking about passion earlier in music. Well, sometimes there's passion in the behind the scenes when you're decision making, and that passion is infectious. You see that person really standing by their point. They're so, they can't let it go. And it's like, okay, you know what? Let's hear you out. Tell us, what do you have to say about that? And sometimes there's a really good way to blend what they're saying with what the 3 of us want, and you get some like Frankenstein monster of an idea or a song or something as a result of working together. 3 versus 1 becomes 3 plus 1.
Like the funk example.
Yeah.
The funk is one of our songs. It has it's a roller coaster of genres. We wanted to create something where it's unique, different, where we blend funk, rock, metal, and jazz, and blend it together.
And I like the name. The name is Funk. The song is FONK, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Tienes saludos. ¿Los puedes leer? ¿Alguien me puede ayudar?
Escuchando desde Monterrey, Nuevo León, México, calor enlatado.
¡Hey, saludos!
Calor enlatado.
No enlatado, enlatado.
Enlatado.
Saludos.
I think his name, Calor enlatado, means something related to a band, a blues band. Do you know that?
Can hit.
Yeah, no, something like that. He explained me once. And then Laura dice las mejores de las vibras.
Y mucho éxito.
Gracias, Laura. Saludos y besos.
Saludos. Y también Álvaro. ¿Tienes
Álvaro
una pregunta?
Martínez, saludos desde
Álvaro
Monterrey,
Martínez,
México.
saludos.
¿Alguna pregunta, mi estimado Aarón?
Sí. En relación al tema de producción, yo creo que el productor tiene que dejar que los músicos se desarrollen. Por eso es importante que vean el documental de Get Back, porque ahí se ve cómo los Beatles los dejaban desarrollar y hacer mierda sus canciones y jugar. Y ya en el proceso de grabación, el productor puede de alguna manera decir, oye, como en la canción de In My Life, that George Martin played the piano, puede agregar algo, pero no puede cambiar el concepto.
Yeah.
En funk, si ustedes tenían funk con más rhythm and blues idea, no lo puede crear como heavy metal, because they broke the creative agreement that you already had. Because you are the band. The producer is not part of the band. He's the producer, and probably he's a genius. But the real producer just let the band create, and probably they may add something to enhance the song. Probably during the recording time, they can make, okay, we need to download the bass or something like that, or I need that the drum play this beat a little bit faster or something like that to enhance the song, but they cannot change the concept. Otherwise, they are part of the band, and let's do the music in the way that he wants.
Who do you think did one of the things, una de las cosas que más o sea, desde niño yo lo sentía musicalmente de los Beatles desde muy joven? Yo me di cuenta que sus composiciones eran especiales, es decir, que estaban hechas no popular, es decir, o sea, muy bien hechas. Es decir, tú cuando tienes una melodía, when you have a song, and you always want music like a soap opera. You want the happy end, right? You want the happy ending, in a nice way, say. You want the happy ending.
You killed yourself.
I know. But you want the happy ending in a soap opera, right? Actually, that is changing now with the new dramas that we see, like a Ozark and all this, because at the end they let you hanging. But anyway, you want your happy ending, okay? And then, but also you need the stress, right? You need that stress in the song composition where the notes create the stress to then bring the happy ending and feels so good. And musicians do not understand, some musicians do not understand this roller coaster that is really make singles. And that's what it is. You have to stress the songs to make them feel great when you solve it. And do you think George Martin was the guy, or was Paul McCartney? Or I was wondering. I'm just sorry that I brought that up.
You brought memories for everybody when you talk about happy ending.
But for instance, the funk for us, we were blessed that the producer was like, he just loved the song. So, this is great. This is amazing. I love this. However, let me add heavier guitars, and it just makes the song better, Like he's saying, we don't change the concept, we just make it better.
Better.
We write the songs, we compose the songs, we put them together, we put them down in paper, and then the producer comes and he's like, he's like an architect. Well, you need a foundation here. Then why don't we add this for layers? And it's just about like buttering layers, And like, por ejemplo, vas a hacer unos tacos, ¿verdad? Vas a hacer tacos, tortillas a mano, la
Cálmate, que traigo un
la
chico de
salsita.
hambre.
Bueno, todos esos elementos que se agregan para hacer el taco es lo que hace el sabor. Y ese taco
Claro,
especial.
bien dicho,
¿Verdad?
Exactamente. A ver, ¿qué dice por ahí? Próximas
presentaciones, planes de gira.
Laura, queremos ir y tocar con ustedes. Estamos esperando que con todo lo de la pandemia, los eventos no se estén cancelando, pero estamos planeando que este año vamos a ir y tocar en todos los Estados Unidos, México y Latinoamérica, es el plan. Ahí estamos nosotros ya listos para ir. Ya están mis maletas ya listas, mis guitarras ya están en mis maletas. Ya estoy listo para ir, pero estamos esperando que todo.
¿El rastrillo?
No es rastrillo para mí.
Oye,
No.
Hey, una pregunta. Imagínate, just imagine, there's a producer comes and says, I got all the money, I'm gonna put you in this record, this studio, whatever. What's your favorite studio? What's your dream studio to record?
I would say Abbey Road Studio.
Abbey Road Studios.
Wow.
It will be so good. I say, I have the money. I'll produce one album completely, but you need to shave.
I'm gonna say I shave my chest.
Yeah. And you can say FY, and that's it.
That's it.
No. Shave your face. The whole thing.
No, well, I'm not allowed to shave my face.
I'm just asking. John, what would you say to him? You see the guy coming with the money. I mean, say, I got the studio and contract and everything. Just Art needs to shave.
Well, we can't shave his face because that's where the treasure map is hidden. We can't let the whole
Yeah.
world see that. Yeah.
Good job. Okay.
Es una trademark, es una marca registrada.
Exactamente.
Lo podrías le mandar si se la quitas.
What do you
Es
think?
como-
¿Sabes a quién se podría
Es
parecer?
como diciéndole a Slash el guitarrista, que se rasura la cabeza y que empiece a tocar Fenders.
Yeah.
Ándale.
Es
¿Cuál
que
es
no
tu?
se puede.
What's your favorite guitar, Art? Brent.
Acoustic guitar is going to be Martin Taylor. Electric is a Bossy Concepts.
What is that? Is that a luthier? Is from a luthier? Or I don't know. I never heard that one.
It's a
man.
small guitar, not small, but it's a newer guitar company based out of Hollywood. And have you ever heard of the guitarist Tosin Abasi?
No.
Animals
He's
Leaders.
Okay, say it again. I'm very curious.
A Bossy Concept, my dream guitar is the Space T.
A bossy. Well, anyway.
Abasi Concept Guitars,
I just
and
typed it in.
Can you spell it?
Space T. Yeah, you
Yeah,
want to spell it?
I just typed it in for you.
Oh, okay, great. So is this what do you like about these guitars? What is it?
Number one, the style, the way the neck is built. See, I have big hands. Y mira my hands. So lo que me gusta de la guitarra, that the necks are wider and they feel comfortable in my hands. And then they're longer scale, so when you're trying to play solo, you're able to reach. But what I also like is the round shaped part of the body in the front with a mixture of a Telecaster.
Oh, is it like okay. That's
Mira,
what I'm
busca el Space T model. Space T model.
Space T mod, Space T. Okay.
Space.
You know,
Space
wow,
como
yeah.
el sky.
What
El
was
espacio.
this guitar looks like another very popular in the 90s guitar. Remember? What was that guitar?
This is
Yeah,
Space T.
yes, that guitar right there. That is my dream guitar.
Yep.
But the cost,
How much is
probably
it?
the cost is almost $3,500.
It's not
Yeah.
expensive. I
No,
mean,
but with that you can pay the tickets to bring them here in Atlanta.
yeah.
And from there, see where
the-
we can open a venue for them and make the concert.
You know,
The cool thing about those guitars is that those guitars, it has like a USB port that you can connect to your wall, and it charges the pickups, and they're
Oh,
active.
really?
Usually, the old technology you put batteries in, but in this technology, the pickups and the activeness, it stays longer, and it has a true tone, and also Fishman pickups. Which
I got this Fender behind me with EMGs. With the EMGs,
Fishman.
yeah, it's the EMGs like David Gilmour, and what the problem with this? The only problem with these EMGs, active pickups and all. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
They always have issues with certain things, like
They're
line
too hot.
6, right? I mean line 6.
hot.
One day I play long time ago. I played with this guitar in a concert, and I brought this guitar, and there was a noise that we never figured out until I researched, and it was because I was using the line 6. And that's the problem. So do you just have in the Space T one option? I mean, just the active pickups? Are you gonna show us the guitar? Are you gonna show us the guitar?
I don't have the guitar on me here.
Ah!
I just barely moved. I just moved here to my new place. So
Okay.
my studio, I'm putting it together. My guitar is not here right now, but whenever I get it, I'll come and show it to you. Absolutely.
Nice. John, what is your favorite instrument? A brand or something? Nope.
My favorite instrument that I have encountered, my favorite keyboard, let's start there.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Eso. Oye, how many guitars do you have in the meantime?
Ahorita tengo mis acústicas aquí.
This
¿Cuántas?
keyboard right here is called the Nord Stage 3.
Oh,
and it
yes.
can do anything. This thing right here is the go-to keyboard for basically every major artist that's out there. And
The North, right?
it took me way too long to get one of those. I resisted for years because it's red, and I didn't want a red keyboard. But when I got it, I was like, I
Oh
should
my
have got
God.
that sooner.
Do you
Yeah.
can you sample sounds on it and then just
Oh, I do all the time. Yeah, we use it in both of our bands. Actually, we use the sample technology. I use I sample some of the cues from some of our songs. I just press a button and then there it is. And it's actually remarkably easy on that keyboard. On
Wow.
other keyboards, it takes sometimes like 10-15 minutes. For that keyboard, it takes 2 minutes.
Can you let me explain this en español? Esa guitarra, ese keyboard tiene para samplear. Si digamos que ponemos un sonido como oh, oh. That's what you can do, right? That's what you mean that you can do that. You can sample things, sounds.
Yeah. So, okay, let's say I want to get Freddie Mercury going, "I want to break free." You know, I want that as a sample. I can
Yeah.
actually go on. I can go on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so this would be my process. I find that where he just says that right at the beginning of "I want to break free." I screen record my computer screen.
Yeah.
And then I take that screen recording and I put it into a software program and I extract the sound. And that sound I then put into my keyboard as a WAV file, and it takes me 2 minutes tops. And then I can play with it. I can make them go really high, or I can make them go really low. I can change the sound however I want. I can make it go backwards.
Yeah.
I can do all sorts of things. Yeah.
Or put a flanger or whatever.
Mhm.
Hey, Art, can you sing a song for us? Can you play Celosa? Hey, ¿estás cómodo, Aarón? Aarón, no te vayas a dormir, güey.
No, es que estoy aprendiendo.
Tus labios son dulces como el tequila, amarga la herida que te cause, que estupidez mía. Ya que el tiempo ha pasado, no has perdonado mis pecados. Es celosa, su alma tan hermosa, sus labios rojos me provocan amor, pero es celosa. Pero dime por favor y déjame ser.
Amazing. Hey, can I put that? Can I cut that and use it in future shows? Will you allow me?
Absolutely, you can use Facebook. We allow him to use our music.
Yes,
Mark Zuckerberg, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Mark Zuckerberg said okay.
Oye, qué tan importante, qué tan importante es que sepamos de política y que participemos en política, Art. And John, do you get what I said?
Yeah. How important is it to be involved in politics?
Yeah,
For us?
or like, in the social issues. Let's not talk about taking sides and politics shit, but just get involved in the social issues. It can
Como
be any
human rights.
human rights or many things. You know what I feel very sad is that we as a society, we always worry about what the people said, that I need this, the food, and this is important. That's the main thing. But also we need other things, and you can think about it just to create a wave. So how important is the politics for you, Art? That's the question. I'll shut up.
Well, I mean, I believe everyone's human rights is important. Los derechos humanos, los derechos para a los hispanos, a los afroamericanos, a los océanos, de todos nos merecemos el mismo respeto y el mismo cariño, el mismo amor, ¿verdad? Especialmente para la raza, que mis papás emigraron a los Estados Unidos. So yo sé cómo es la vida cuando alguien no tiene papeles, o alguien que vino para acá con el sueño americano. ¿Ve? Yo soy parte de ese sueño americano. Yo soy la primera generación americana de mis raíces mexicanas, y para mí yo tengo la responsabilidad, como el ser que soy como mexicano y americano, de luchar y seguir mis sueños, ¿verdad? Porque es un honor de estar aquí y poder tocar música y ser música parte de mi vida y ser lo que hago, ¿verdad? En mi vida.
¿Tú te sientes que tú tienes que alzar la voz por los que podrían ser los futuros?
Claro que sí.
Arts.
Artistas, ¿verdad? Es como te digo, los Beatles, Queen, Maná, todos estos artistas, ellos pusieron la responsabilidad para la siguiente generación. Es que como los Olympics, ¿verdad? cuando va corriendo alguien y luego le pasa
Sí.
el tubo y luego el otro
Relax.
agarra y luego empieza a correr. Eso es lo que es. ¿Verdad? The torch is now in our hands, and we must run with it for the next generation. ¿Verdad?
Yes, yes.
It's just how it is. Es lo que mucha gente se les olvida lo que es vivir sus pasiones y por qué estamos haciendo la música. ¿Verdad? Y es lo que es parte de la resistencia. La parte de la resistencia es de luchar y seguir tus sueños y a crear la música que tú en tu corazón sientes, ¿verdad? Para las generaciones que vienen, para que ellos aprendan y para que crecemos como humanos.
¿Qué hay ahorita en el plato, qué hay ahorita en el mundo, en de Estados Unidos prácticamente, que te moleste, que te duela, que te gustaría, que si tú dijeras, te doy una oportunidad para que firmes una ley o que quites una ley, ¿cuál sería?
La discriminación y los racismos.
Okay.
¿Verdad?
Racismo
Porque
prácticamente.
Racismo, sí, porque como hispano creciendo aquí, yo he conocido gente que, incluyendo a mí, ¿verdad? Mucha gente no son, como te digo, they're not fair, ¿verdad? You're not that race, you're not that color, you're not that voice, Gente siempre juzga porque no entienden, ¿verdad? Pero yo diría que lo importante es de ser la voz y los representantes
Pero ¿cómo, John, do you want to participate in this?
Sure.
What would you change if you had the chance, politics is important for you because if you have a chance to sign a bill or to kill a bill, what would it be?
So I'm personally, I'm not politically ambitious. I prefer to be more involved in music and creativity, but I feel very strongly, and I don't even think this should be a political issue, and yet it's become an issue. Education. I really feel like so many places in the United States have just very poor education systems, and I feel like it's not even on an individual level. America would be enhanced greatly if everybody had a really high quality fundamental and practical education. And I don't mean that everyone needs to know like what the different parts of the cell is. No one needs to. Very few people need to know what a mitochondria is. Like that sort of thing. Not important. But how do you stay involved in your local community? How do you big one. How do you do taxes? Why are we not taught that in school?
Yeah,
Things like
yes.
that. If we had a stronger education, I think America would be a much more. It's already a successful place, but it would be so much more successful if everybody was on this same page. And it just doesn't happen to be the case. That's what I'd like to see changed.
We have more.
Don't worry, I understand.
Yeah, got it.
We play baseball because we are starting to find out
I-
how many minutes we have left and these kind of things. Don't worry about it. Keep talking.
But let me tell you something something that happened yesterday. Two things that happened to me. One yesterday, one long time ago regarding this that you just said, John. Yesterday, I was in a bar watching the game, Rams versus 49ers. Hey, John, what's your team?
Oh, back in the day, you're going to hate me for this, but I loved the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Back in the days when it was good. But anyway, and but anyway, I was there watching, and then end up being that this guy wanted kind of a talk with me, and then end up talking, he invited me a shot and everything. He's from Yugoslavia. He was from Yugoslavia back in the days when there was Yugoslavia. And then we were talking about, the new countries that came out from Yugoslavia and blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, after the tequila, my God, tequila has something. And the guy started like, oh, fucking this country. I hate this country. I just want to go back. And I'm just because I'm married with an American woman that I love and blah, blah, blah. And the guy starts saying, I hate all these people here, so stupid. They're so ignorant. And then, he people was listening. And I said, let's stop that shit. But he said many times he said, this country is so ignorant and there's so much ignorance in the country, right? And I agree with that it is true. I mean, anyway, he was talking about the level of education of another countries, and I believe he has a point. Let me tell you another story, very quick, so you know, Aaron. I was back in the days, like 10 years ago, whatever, whenever was that, 12. I was in this event, and I was so nervous and I was so down myself because in Georgia they start tracking people just by by appearance. They were just profiling the police and all that. And I was so sad. And all of a sudden, I was talking with this lawyer there that he was a Latino lawyer, and I don't remember his name, thanks God, because then I would be in trouble. And the guy, I said something, hey, aren't you very mad about what is going on? And he said, what do you want? Because that was when DACA was kind of coming out. And he said, what do you want? You want your kids be, how do you say, graduate from college and then compete against all these guys that they don't have documents? So you want your kids to become, I said, heck, if my kid, oh my God, I mean, the guy was talking to the wrong guy, right? I said, I got like, I almost want to kill the motherfucker. And I couldn't believe what I heard. No podía creer lo que estaba escuchando de otro hispano diciendo eso. So, ¿cómo se puede hacer? Digamos, tú eres de descendencia italiana, ¿verdad? John, your background is Italian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but you were more. Italians are very, how do you say, blending in the society, and they're very welcome in this general kind of consensus. And
right.
Do you understand that it's so important? Empathy is so important for all of us. Right now, there's a lot of people complaining there's no workforce. There's a lot of you go to the supermarkets, shelves are empty because the Lay's, Frito-Lay's, and all these companies, they cannot produce enough, right? And you have all these
Italians. They're very much they're a staple of American society nowadays. You know, you see all these successful Italian businessmen and actors and writers, but that wasn't always the case. You know, in the 20s and 30s, there was a lot of racism against Italians. There was a lot of no Italians wanted. This is an Irish only. This is a whatever only. No Italians wanted, and that lasted for a long time. There were I mean, I can give you examples of Italians being basically murdered just because someone wanted to pin the blame on them. But that changed over time, and it took generations for that change to happen. But the more they became an integral part of American society, the more that they weren't thought of as Italians anymore. They had an Italian last name, but they're American. And, you know, I think over time that happens to anyone here in this country. I think that will be the case for, give it a few more generations.
But what do we need to do? Because you got to do something. Because Irish, they took longer because they were so stubborn with their culture. And like Mexicans, we will never stop wearing our jersey when the Mexico, United States, people won't care. We won't care. We go like Mexico, and fuck you and all that. You know what I mean?
I don't think you have to do anything. Here's the ugly reality. There are always going to be racist motherfuckers out there. They're not going away. They're not going away. But especially in California with Mexican culture, it is very ingrained now with Californian, whatever you want to say, white American culture, but with just, it's becoming very mainstream. Chicano. And so I think just given enough time, the ugly face of racism and those people that do hold on to that, they're just going to become quieter and quieter and quieter. I think it's already happening, especially in California. So I say your kids and their kids, they're going to be in generations that don't see so much of that ugliness and instead see, their heritage becoming more standard American, I guess would be the best way to put it, more mainstream.
Amen.
Por ejemplo, yo vivo en Los Ángeles y aquí en Los Ángeles hay una cultura tremenda de diferentes nacionalidades, ¿verdad? Y todos nos juntamos y todos somos amigos, ¿verdad? Si es africano, si es de Europa, ruso, ¿verdad? Mexicano,
Coreano.
brasileño, coreano, todos nos llevamos bien porque aquí a ti todos nos miramos like we're the same, ¿verdad? It's a human being, es una persona, no es el color de la piel ni el lenguaje que hablas, es que eres una persona, ¿verdad? Eres una
You will
persona
be accepted as a person, not
as
as
a
a.
person.
That's if
Yeah.
you rejected is because you as a person you're stupid or something wrong with you,
Or an
right?
asshole, yeah.
Well, a lo mejor Aarón, ¿qué tienes que decir? Porque Aarón, su vida, su empresa, su negocio, él forma parte de Taylor Lee Associates. Ellos trabajan en todo lo que son procesos de migración y criminalidad. Lamentablemente, pues ahora también mezclaron eso, lamentablemente por lo que ha sucedido en las leyes. Es mejor practicar la ley de inmigración ahora también con conocimiento de criminalidad. Y él hace reportes de la Casa Blanca y está muy metido. Él ha formado parte de la lucha, ¿verdad? De la reforma y demás, pero pues no vemos un resultado. ¿Algo que quieras comentar, Aaron?
No, que efectivamente ambos, tanto Art como John, están en lo correcto. Por un lado, viva la diversidad, como lo dice Art, pero también es una cuestión de tiempo, como dice John, en que la sociedad va a ir cambiando, pero siempre va a haber unos hijos de puta que van a ser racistas, y eso lo hemos tenido desde que George Washington fue el primer presidente. Acuérdate que Thomas Jefferson quería la emancipación de los negros, y la sociedad americana decía, sí, vamos a darles la libertad, pero que se vayan a vivir a otro lado. O sea, los liberamos, pero que se vayan. Y Thomas Jefferson tenía más de 60 esclavos porque pues había heredado de sus padres y de su esposa. Entonces, siempre vamos a tener ese tipo de situaciones, pero yo tengo mucha fe. John, I don't know if you understand my point, but I have faith in the new generations because they are more political active than maybe we were when we were teenagers. Right now, if you see the teenagers, African Americans, Asian people, European people, Latino people, the kids are more active with all the social media, all the bombs that they have through the social media. They start to realize the benefit of education that is short sometimes, and you see in some states they try to ban things about American racist and all those kind of things, the Black Lives Matter and all those kind of things, or the Martin Luther King fight and the struggle that they went in the 60s to get the same rights that the African white people. You see Mitch McConnell saying last week that African American people vote in the same high rate that Americans. In his mind, Americans are white. You know, he doesn't understand.
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
I made my point, and I rest my case.
Yes, that's the problem. It's like we're all Americans, you know. Desde el momento que pisas a esta tierra, eres americano. You know, to my personal, undocumented or not, you are an American. You are on the land.
Well, everybody's American in the continent because America is Mexico, Argentina, and everybody. But if they want to say U.S. citizens, that's the thing. But anyway, one of the things that I don't understand, but I'm gonna throw this and let's make it like a 5 minutes because we need to cut in 10 minutes. But what Kaepernick did. Yo no creo que eso sea inteligente. I don't think that's smart.
No, it's smart. In my opinion, it's
no.
smart.
Well, that's my point. Then you all tell me. I mean, the flag for some reason has been taken by certain groups that side more with the patriotism and becomes a racist and racist. You know what I mean? So. So by all saying giving our back to the flag or to not sing the national anthem, is we giving away that symbol, that I mean, why are we giving away the flag? Why are we giving away that? What do you think, John, of what I just said?
So, okay, with Colin Kaepernick, I'll start there.
Okay.
You know the expression, the pen is mightier than the sword? Have you heard that?
No, but say it. The pen
Yeah.
is mightier
Mightier than the sword.
Mightier. Yeah.
Yeah, mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful, but I don't really believe it. And here's why. Anytime some radical change is written into law, there's protest. And protest, the most active protest and the most influential that's talked about is often the protest that is based in action. And I don't condone, I'm not in support of violence. I think people that are pro-war and in favor of hurting people are just evil. I'll start with that. But the greatest changes always come about as a result of action. So what Colin Kaepernick was doing was taking action. I respect him for that. But he, for some reason, I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but that got turned against him so quickly. You know, like with Martin Luther King, he was peaceful, but then the Black Panthers and Malcolm X, and there was a more violent faction that came along and like actually, you know, made some great progress towards change. So yeah, I know I sound like I'm sounding in favor of violence. I'm not in favor of violence, but it's true.
But-
you have to take action.
But you have like Cesar Chavez, for example.
Yes.
He fought for the Latino rights and was able to give people their good wages and he did it in
And the
peaceful
papers.
protest. Yeah, peaceful protests, you know? And that changed a lot for a lot of people. And I feel like that's gonna keep happening for like the Latinos and all the you know, undocumented people in this country.
But what you know, the problem with it is that you know, the American flag is so beautiful, so nice, so means so
agree.
much, and then if I wear it, it means that I'm siding with those motherfuckers, and that's why I don't. That's why are we doing that?
That's
And
not right.
You can't let them get to you. The people that are okay, so yeah, there is a percentage of people that are racist that use the American flag to show their racism. On the other hand, there is a small percentage of people who actually believe that the American flag is racist. I don't believe the American flag is racist.
Of course
and
not.
If you shy away, if you don't allow yourself to have an American flag shirt or fly the American flag, you're letting those people who think you're racist win. And I don't want to let them win. I love the American flag.
Yes,
And I'm not going to let either side win. The racists don't get it, and the people who think it's racist don't get to tell me not to use it.
What people are forgetting that the American flag is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
yes,
It's for everyone in this country, and it's sad. It's sad that people use you know that as a symbol or trying to whatever, but they keep forgetting that it's called the United States, united as one.
yes.
You know, and when people start to
United,
realize,
we need to say it, United Races now. We need to start changing.
you know, and it's sad. It's sad that people use that to use something positive and turn it negative. I understand that a lot of the people that built the country had a different mindset and a different point of view at that time, and then in their heads they probably weren't thinking of being racist because they don't know really what racism was until later on they started to like show. But you know, I think there should absolutely be some changes for good. But before there's anything good happens, there's always going to be the bad, and you have to go through the turbulence. You have to go through the battles to get it to the end of the tunnel where the light lives.
Yes.
You know?
You think empathy is I think tú trajiste algo, Aaron, ibas a decir, dame tu opinión.
No,
Pero
yo quería mandar a saludar a David Rivera de Tenebrarum, que nos está viendo desde Colombia, otro rockero, Gifted, toca violín y hace rock and roll con el violín.
Sí, cierto, ahí está. Fíjate
Saludos.
De Tenebrarum. Un abrazo a este
Excelentísimo.
escritor. un gran personaje.
Oye, you need to meet him.
Yeah.
Lo acabo de entrevistar.
We should do like a
Together.
crossroad or a spin-off of this show and make an interview with David and you guys because he's really, really
Do it.
good.
I would
It's
love
amazing.
Let me talk
It's
about
amazing.
the flags and all those kind of things.
This
Hey,
is why.
David.
You know what? This is why, guys, John and Art.
And Art.
That's you know why? That's why I ask people, the musicians like you, to give me like a small rehearsal or something that I can always use in my show, because then I can show you very quick. Let's say bands that I have interview, like this band. I'm gonna just do one. Okay, very quick. So sorry, that was so fucking loud. But that was a band that I was gonna show you that I interviewed the other day. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It was too loud. It's too loud, right? Do you want me to show it to you?
Yeah, I'd
Very
love
quick.
to see it.
Yeah. Ok, eso es un pequeño nomás, por eso me gusta que otras bandas conozcan otras bandas, porque esta es una banda de Puerto Rico, no tengo nada de David Rivera, pero that was the point, that was probably what I don't want it to say. We need to finish right now. Something you want to add that I probably forgot about from the band?
John?
Well, I would love to see some of the people that are watching today start seeing more of our music videos, and we've got quite a few on YouTube, so check us out on there, because I mean, I'm proud of what we've done, and I really hope you guys enjoy it.
I do like it. I went biking yesterday with your music. You want to add something, Aaron? Basically, can you give me a quick what's going on in La Casa Blanca today?
Okay, it's going to be a complicated week. El presidente Biden sigue tratando de pasar su segunda parte de la ley de la infraestructura, pero le hacen falta los votos de Cinema y de Manchin. La gente en Arizona se está organizando porque se están yendo en contra de Kristen Sinema, ya le avisaron que no van a votar por ella. Y una organización muy poderosa como es Voto Latino, que ha apoyado a muchísimos candidatos de todos los espectros, demócratas básicamente, pero de cualquier raza, ya dijo que no le va a dar su apoyo y que de su cuenta corre que no se va a poder reelegir, lo cual es malo para ella, pero bueno para el movimiento porque no han podido quitar el tema del filibustero y pues vamos a ver qué sigue, pero las cosas están poniendo cuesta arriba.
Es muy difícil, este año es difícil, es muy importante que no caigamos, que no perdamos la cabeza en redes sociales y ponerte muy ácido con la gente y pelear, porque pues el gobierno a veces lo que quiere es que nos peleemos entre nosotros. They want us to fight among us so they continue in power.
True,
We need to be understand, and instead of fighting stupidly like I probably did myself against Trumpers or whatever, we need to hear him and listen. What is going on? We have to go. How many minutes we have?
Uno.
Bueno,
Muchas gracias por todo. ¿Algo que quieres decir, Arturo?
Les quiero mandar un beso, un beso, un abrazo a todos que escucharon. A David de Colombia, mándanos un mensaje. a la banda de Puerto Rico, mandas un mensaje, hay que conectarnos y que viva el rock and roll.
Muchísimas gracias por tu tiempo. Muchas gracias, Aarón. Gracias por todo, John. Que se la pasen a toda madre. Esto fue La Dosis con Art and the Resistance.
Get out.
Ah.